there are actors, there are movie stars, and then there's The Rock, a man so versatile, so emotionally dynamic, so artistically brave, that he's built an entire billion-dollar career by playing one character, himself, in a slightly different shirt. Welcome to When You Have the Emotional Range of a Rock. Some actors bring audiences to tears. Some inspire laughter. Dwayne Johnson, he brings consistency. You always know exactly what face you're going to get. He's the only man in Hollywood who can survive earthquakes, tsunamis, jungle booby traps, and his own teenage daughter's attitude, without ever changing facial expressions. It's incredible. You could run over his dog, tell him the world is ending, or offer him a bowl of plain oatmeal, and you'd get the same exact eyebrow raise. Of course, he started in wrestling, back when his job was yelling dramatically while covered in baby oil, and somehow, he took that exact same energy and turned it into a movie career. Just less yelling, and more whisper growling. He acts like he's constantly trying not to wake a baby in the next room. Everything is delivered in that gravelly tone, as if he's about to sell you protein powder while saving the planet. It's not acting, it's brand management. Dwayne Johnson has starred in Jungle Adventure Movie 1, Jungle Adventure Movie 2, Jungle Adventure Movie but this time with Kevin Hart, Fast and Furious. Family Edition, Fast and Furious. Explosion DLC, Fast and Furious. Vin Diesel's Restraining Order, and let's not forget, Black Adam, where he played a centuries-old villain cursed with immense power and zero personality. You'd think, after being asleep for 5,000 years, he'd have something interesting to say. Nope, just more squinting in slow motion. He delivers lines like Google Maps. If Google Maps bench-pressed twice a day and never processed its parents' divorce. Now, to be fair, he does have one iconic expression. The eyebrow. That single, majestic, gravity-defying eyebrow. A symbol of power. A monument to consistency. A subtle, whispered reminder. In fact, scientists believe his entire emotional range is stored in that eyebrow. We haven't seen emotional stunting this advanced since Mark Zuckerberg testified before Congress. And then there's the smolder. The Rock's answer to human emotion. A blank, sweaty stare into the middle distance, as if he's either solving a moral dilemma or trying to remember if he left the oven on. He smolders like a guy in a cologne ad who accidentally walked into a hostage situation. This is the face that has to carry entire scenes of emotional depth in his films, because God forbid he sheds a single tear. That would be acting, and we don't do that here. They say The Rock is the hardest working man in Hollywood, which is true. He works incredibly hard to avoid playing anyone besides himself. Other actors take risks, play villains, get vulnerable. Dwayne, he shows up, flexes, delivers 3 sarcastic one-liners, stares into the distance, and boom, $200 million opening weekend. At this point, The Rock isn't a person. He's a franchise. He's got a tequila brand, an energy drink, a clothing line, and a gym he calls the Iron Paradise. Try to find a scene in any of his movies where he expresses genuine heartbreak, fear, or vulnerability. You won't, because The Rock doesn't cry. He intimidates moisture, he doesn't break down. He cheats the emotional curve. Imagine Dwayne Johnson trying to play a grieving father. He'd just hold a photo, flex, and whisper, "I'll make you proud," then punch a wall and ride a motorcycle into the sunset. Beautiful, powerful, deeply emotionally repressed. Directors keep hoping, maybe this time he'll stretch. Maybe this time he'll show range. But every Dwayne Johnson character ends up becoming Dwayne Johnson. He could be cast as Abraham Lincoln, and within 20 minutes he'd be bald, jacked, and throwing someone off the White House balcony. Look, we're not saying The Rock is a bad actor. We're saying he's an efficient actor. He found one character, one face, one tone, and he stuck with it harder than Vin Diesel sticks to the word family. And in a way, that's impressive. His biggest acting role wasn't in a movie. It was convincing the world he was an actor in the first place. And for that, we salute him. Stone-faced, emotionless, just the way he'd want it. So here's to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The only man who can survive a helicopter crash, outrun an earthquake, and still not crack a single tear. A true legend. A human boulder, emotionally, spiritually, and artistically. A rock.